How's it going, everybody? It's CanDoKen. Welcome back to a brand new Genshin Impact video. This one's gonna be a little more like impromptu. No real like script or plan for this. It's just something that like I recently encountered and I have been encountering in like the Genshin Impact community. It pertains to like character builds and at what point do we consider a character like built or good enough for even like great or perfect. It's so when you take a look at this Raiden, right? Like what do you see? Like 65 crit rate, 131 crit damage, energy recharge 256 with the R5 catch. Like the point I want to make is if you took a look at this Raiden and said that ew, this is bad, you know, the point is I think a lot of Genshin players need to curb their expectations a little bit, because this is my Raiden with 1700 attack and she's top 7% in crit value compared to however many Raidens that are being compared here. Top 7%. And this is my Raiden who I can hit upwards of like 400, 500,000s with my burst. Just the first hit alone can hit 500,000 damage. My point is, like, if this isn't good enough, who are you trying to kill? Like, who do you need, like, all of that, like, extra crit percent? Like, who are you trying to kill? What challenge in the game are you trying to conquer? What difficulty level are you trying to tackle, you know? This all stems from a post that I saw on the glorious Raiden Mains Reddit page. Reddit's such a great place to be. Of this person, Akito, asking why he feels like his Raiden is lackluster. If you take a look, his stats are all better than mine. They're all better than my Raiden, right? He's top 11% of all Raidens that are being compared here. That's not bad. Like, he is top 11% out of all Raidens being compared. So he's asking, where is he lacking, or like what needs to change? And the comments are just going crazy, telling him he needs to replace his energy recharge sand. He needs to get an attack sand. Attack sand will be so much better. I want you to take a look back at my Raiden and notice that it took me 13 attack rolls, okay? 13 attack rolls and an additional 67 attack percent to make it to 1741 with the catch. He is 1679 with 8% attack rolls. Like, if he took the energy recharge sand off, he'd be missing out on energy recharge, which directly will negatively affect how much energy Raiden restores to the team and herself. He's not utilizing Raiden's passive anymore. It's literally not active outside of the catch giving ER. And then he'd be gaining an additional attack percent, but making all of his rotations sloppier. And then the attack percent that he's gaining isn't the problem. He doesn't need additional attack percent. His Raiden, in fact, is so well built. Honestly, the only realistic, because if you, I mean, look at his pieces. So is he ever going to get a piece with 10 crit rate, 14 crit damage, 9 ER, and 8 attack percent ever again? And out of like infinite possibilities of rolling RNG artifacts, is he ever going to realistically replace this? Is it worth the effort to replace this artifact? Like, the amount of resin he would spend, the amount of sleepless nights and RNG he would face to replace this artifact, is he ever going to get a valid replacement? Not likely. We have 13 crit rate, or 14 crit rate, 13 crit damage. He's never getting a replacement for this. Like, the odds that he gets a valid replacement that's worth the resin he would have spent is not there. It's not there. This one right here, 7 crit rate, 11% crit damage. This is a good piece, and it's an ER main stat. This is what she wants. Like, this is a good piece. We have a 35 crit damage attack goblet. Like, he can try for an electro damage goblet, but if you look at the differences in damage between an electro versus an attack, it's not really like that different. It's not really that different. And then that's another thing, people telling him to get an attack sand, he would be way over capped. Like the diminishing returns on attack would be far exceeded. Like there's no point. There's literally no point. And then we got a crit rate circlet with a 28% crit damage roll on it. These pieces can't be replaced, not reasonably. Mine, hold on, so if you look at my Raiden, hold on, actually did I say it backwards? Okay, yeah, if you look at mine, the sole reason that my attack is this high is not because like I needed an attack sand or like anything realistic. I got super unrealistic, unlucky almost, with a lot of my attack percent rolls. 16% attack percent, 14 attack percent. And that's not to say these are bad. Attack rolls are good. Like, especially when they roll this high, it sort of rivals crit damage in a way. Like, because like imagine if you had 2 million crit damage, but you only had one attack. Would you rather have 2 million crit damage with one attack, or 1700 attack with even half that amount of crit damage? You'd be doing way more damage the other way. So it's like attack rolls aren't bad, but that's not the end all. Is just getting more attack. Like that's not, like, that doesn't just end the game for you. These rolls, like, yeah, they're good, they're high rolls, but it mathematically they're not doing that much. Like 1700 versus 1600, you're not feeling that that attack difference. Whereas like my point when it comes to this build, seeing as it's already better than my build in every single way, and my Raiden slaps hard, I put her on any side of the abyss, she will clear it. She will kill every living thing on that half of the abyss by herself. Seeing as my Raiden is that good, and his Raiden is better than mine at a baseline, the only realistic upgrades are to just get Engulfing Lightning, get C2. Like, your Raiden is perfect. It, like, a lot of the Genshin community, man, their expectations are so high, just so high, and it's illogical. It is illogical. Like, the crit values on all these pieces are good. They're purple and up. Like, I have a blue, I got a blue crit value here, which, like, I could replace it, but the odds that I get anything good like this and a 15% attack roll, 12% crit damage, 5% crit rate, it's not worth the resin. This is a good enough piece. It's not worth the resin. Like, and I still managed to be in top 7% of all Raidens that have been tallied on this website. Like, people, y'all gotta curb your expectations, and I'm tired of seeing people giving unhealthy advice. Oh, keep farming, bro, keep farming. Keep farming what? Keep farming what? The 35 CV attack goblet? The 28 CV crit rate circlet? Like, keep 42 CV on the feather? Keep farming what? Like, this Raiden is perfect. The only things that he can upgrade right now, like realistically, is getting another constellation and getting a weapon with a higher base attack that synergizes better with her kit to pull more damage out, in a C6 Sara. But I think he might have her, I'm not sure. But that's realistically, those are the only things you can do. You will drive yourself crazy trying to get an additional 5 CV out of a freaking 25 CV artifact. Like, it's just simply not worth the headache. It's not worth the time, the resin, the resources, like, at all. Just work on another character, work on supports, like, save your resources, save your resin, spend it on another character. Like, this is done. This character is done. They're complete. Like, people just don't understand, man. And it drives me crazy seeing it all over the Reddit. People just like shoving their unrealistic, like, perfectionist, like, expectations on people. It doesn't make any sense to me. As a baseline, I would say once a character has reached like 60 over 120 crit rate to crit damage, I would say they are done. Like, that character, they're not perfect by any means, and obviously that leaves 60 over 120 with, you know, whatever stat they need, like EM or ER, whatever that character needs alongside that. If you've got a decent amount of attack, which I would say on a usual character, it's sort of close to 2k, like maybe 1500. I would say 1500 to 2000 attack. Anywhere in between there, you manage to get that character's, like, their wanted stat up to a good level, which in Al Haytham's case it would be ER or EM, sorry. And then you got their crit rate to crit damage 60 over 120. That character is done. Like, yes, you can improve, but that is done. That character, the game's not that hard. If you have a team with Al Haytham, and right now I have pretty cracked out, like, yoked artifacts on him right now, and I'm testing this Wolf Fang on him. But if you've got an Al Haytham with stats similar to this, and he's rocking a 60 over 120, that's not bad. That's not a bad character. But if you go on Reddit, the Genshin community will have you believe that that is a terrible character. He is trash. Like, you need to farm. Your CV could literally be perfect. You could have a top 7% Al Haytham, and they will tell you to keep farming forever. Like, yes, you can keep farming. There's 60 over 120, there's room to improve. But once you start reaching like 65 plus for your crit rate, and then like 150 plus for your crit damage, like he's done, bro. The amount of time and resources you're putting towards it, unless you simply, like, you love the character so much that you want, like, absolute, like, nothing but the best, absolute perfection on the character, like, you're done. They're done. Once they're 65 over like 150, they're done. It's done. Like, you're wasting time. Like, you're literally falling for the gotcha scam of never-ending gameplay cycle, never-ending gameplay loop by continuously farming when you're done. The character is done. The game will never get harder than it is now. The game, it will get easier at a baseline, but the game's peak difficulty will never go up. It will never go up. It'll always go down to give people time. Like when Fontaine came out, that was our easiest abyss ever. It went way down. I cleared the abyss with Hu Tao, and I haven't cleared with her in a long time. Not like a normal Hu Tao vape team. I was able to clear it with Hu Tao, and that hasn't happened in a long time. So, like, the difficulty will go down, but our peaks will not peak that high. Like, why do you need 1600 crit rate with 17 million crit damage? Why do you need that? Who are you trying to kill? Like, let me know so I can phone the police. Hello, officer, we got somebody trying to commit murder out here. You want your freaking Raiden burst to splash through the monitor and, like, kill the viewer? Like, what do you need that kind of damage for? Like, this Raiden right here, 65 over 130, clears everything, man. Everything. People would have you believe, oh, replace your ER sand and put an attack sand on. There's only so much attack that you can squeeze out of a 510 base attack weapon. There's only so much attack percent can squeeze out. But look at the night and day difference. The same exact substats on a better weapon scales so much higher. 2,300 attack from just a weapon change to a 5-star option. The same thing, you can see the exact same scenario with the character like Xingqiu. He's got 1600 with a 4-star weapon leveled to 90, right? We switch the weapon, 1,800. Like, it's night and day. He hits like a whole different character now. We could even put a higher scaling base attack weapon on him. 2,000. It is your weapon. It is your weapon and your base attack. Attack percent can only squeeze out so much more damage. Like, it can't do everything. Attack percent will not be the end all for your build, period. Just for the devil's advocate side, there are characters who will struggle no matter what. I clear the abyss on a friend's account often, and he pulled Sino, and he has Sino's weapon. He's got like 78 crit rate with like 240 crit damage with like 300 EM, and there's literally nothing that I can do to make that Cyno clear the abyss. I can't do it. But he's got an underleveled Raiden with like a decent like 60 over something crit rate with the catch, and I can clear it with Raiden. Like, there are some characters who they just, I don't know. It's possible we don't have proper supports for him. Farina should help out with his Hydro application on that team, like a Hyper Bloom Cyno team. That we could see Cynos like actually clearing, but I could not clear it with anyone else, man. Like, I couldn't do it. A character like Yanfei, you might have to go to like the very tip of the extremes to get her to clear. I was originally a Yanfei main back when I was I was a very low spender, super low spender. I was a Yanfei main, and couldn't clear. I just couldn't do it with Yanfei. But at that time, I was very like inexperienced in the game though as well. So it's possible I can clear it now, but couldn't do it. Couldn't clear it with Yanfei. Certain characters, they do need extra love, extra care. But strong characters, man, like, y'all have to give it a rest. Like, I'll hate them, bro. He's strong. He is so strong. You got your 60, 65, 120, 130, 40, 50. He's done, bro. He's done. You got your appropriate amount of EM. That character is finished. Like, let it go. Build something else. Move on to something else. Like, y'all chase perfection, and perfection doesn't exist. It's not real. Like, just simply isn't real. This Xingqiu has been killing the game. He has been killing the game. He gets his burst back off cooldown on 181. He is C6, so he has a bunch of energy coming from that. But like 181, he gets his burst back off cooldown with Sacrificial Sword. He does good damage. He's 69 over 127, and he's been like that for a year now. Since I like perfected his build, he's done. I don't gotta keep spending resin, keep praying that RNGesus shines down on me. If I want to put his like strength in my own hands, I simply need to get him a different weapon that does more damage, level him up, or level his talents. Those are things that I can do that puts his power, his strength level in my hands, not RNGesus. It puts it in my hands so I can make the character stronger, guaranteed. Y'all chasing artifact substats all day. That is not healthy. It's not healthy. At a certain point, you need to learn to cut your losses, or not even losses all the time. Cut your wins and just be done with it. Like, it's just that simple, man. All that's to say, if you're struggling with building a character and you want actual advice, like, that is grounded in some form of reality, you can find you like a very trusted friend who is knowledgeable about Genshin and ask them for their opinion on your builds. Or you could come here, leave it in the comments or whatever. I always respond to every comment, but definitely don't go to Reddit. Don't go to Twitter. Like, people are more insane than you think they are. They are more out of touch with reality than you believe they are. It's nonsense on the internet. Find you someone trusted, a trusted source to evaluate your account, your characters. And I feel like a lot of people would just be on a much better track, a lot better of a track than right now. I hate going on Reddit and watching people mislead others for no benefit. You're not gaining anything from spreading misinformation. Like, I don't know, maybe they just like watching people struggle. So yeah, that's it for this video. It's kind of long now, but if you enjoyed anything or you appreciate this type of like content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you can, leave a comment. Like I said, I always reply. And until the next video, deuce.